Sticks and stones may break my bones, but not if I eat what every day? Hi, welcome to today's episode of In the Kitchen, Keeping It Real. I'm your host, Ariyele, and today we're making bone broth. The thing that, if you eat every day, ain't nobody breaking no bones eating some bone broth every day, that's for damn sure. I know that there are some vegans who might be probably going to be upset by the bone broth. Although, how do I know? I mean, I'm just assuming. But I cannot stress enough how good it is for you. Fortify with bone broth, you will not get sick. You will not get flus. This episode I'm filing under the category of pantry game changer. In this case, it doesn't really stay in your pantry, it stays in your fridge. It will boost the flavor of anything that you use it with. You can use it to cook your rice with. You can use it to cook any of your grains with, for that matter, quinoa. You can use it, obviously, as the broth of a soup. You can put some in some freezer cubes and some ice cube tray, and when they're all frozen off, take them out of the tray, throw them in a freezer-safe Ziploc bag, and you can use them to pop into a stir-fry at the last minute. I'm telling you, not only are you going to be adding a ton of calcium to your diet, vitamin D, magnesium, you're going to be adding so much flavor to your food. So not only is it healthy, it's gourmet. And this is what's so awesome to me about what I've learned about being gluten-free. It does not mean I'm losing out on flavor, on fun in terms of eating and pleasure. It means that I'm healthy, that I'm going to be, longevitous. That's not a word, but it is now. And wow, I just did a hacky sack move. A little petite piece of potato went right onto the top of the palm of my foot. And I'm using it because you know what? This stock's going to be simmering for close to 24 hours. It's so easy. As you can see, I'm preparing the base of any stock. This is classic base of any stock. You can substitute out carrots for parsnips. You can substitute out any kind of onion you want. You can use leeks. You could use celery root. You don't have to use celery. And all these things, carrot, onion, celery, the base of a soup, is pretty much called a mirepoix. That's what the French call it. That's their fancy word. Okay, so check me out here. Might get a little cry from my onions. When I first had to start looking into the bone broth situation, I was alerted by my acupuncturist to a place called Three Stone Hearth in Berkeley. Amazing spot. And they make bone broths and sell them. And I'll tell you what, people, a small jar of bone broth, about 4 cups or a quart, is $12. For the amount of bone broth that we could eat, is healthy to eat every day, I just couldn't maintain that price differential. So I had to figure out how I was going to do it. And I was freaked because there's a key in making a bone broth. When you buy a roast chicken and you eat that chicken, you can use all of the bones that are left behind. In fact, when I roast a chicken, I then just strip all the meat off and save the bones and obviously put them into a pot with my mirepoix and spend about 4 hours simmering it, and not even simmering it, whispering it, and boom, you've got an amazing stock soup broth that is really filling. You can have some in the morning and use it with any veggies you have in the fridge, and then poach an egg in there for lunch. Incredible. So you don't have to do this. You can literally throw all these right into the pot, but I'm just gonna wrap my mirepoix in a cheesecloth so that at the end, when I'm done, I can literally pull out the cheesecloth, grind up the bones in my food processor, which will be finger-pinching soft, and put that on Craigslist for anyone who wants to have pet food. So we're really using the entire animal, and they're healthy animals. Marin Sun Farms chickens and Marin Sun Farms bones are my supply. Okay, so the mirepoix is gonna go into my pot, okay, this comes later. Move our raw stuff away. And in my pot, now this is a stock pot, I'm gonna make a bunch of bone broth and I'm gonna keep it in the freezer. And As the week is getting closer to its end, I'm gonna pull that out, just let it defrost. Obviously, when I just want a cube, I'll just use a cube. But in here I've got it's covered in water. The bones are in there. It looks, you know, it does not look pretty at this stage, but I'll show you finished products. So the key is chicken feet. I know, I felt like a little witch when I was first doing this, looking at my chicken feet rolling around. Feet and heads are key. A lot of the collagen that is what you're trying to extract out from the bones are located there. Heads too, okay? I know, it's terrifying. It took me so long to get over this. That's why I kept buying it. But the mohawk's kind of cool, right? If you do eat meat and you go to the store, you buy meat, and this will freak you out. But if you've ever handled a chicken thigh or a raw chicken breast, it's the same thing. And then majority of the stock are the backs, which are a nice, big, long spine, okay? So that's what's in there. It's covered with water. I've got an antibacterial, thyme-scented hand wash here, wipe, because I just touched all that raw stuff. So I'm gonna, okay, mirepoix right in there. You might want to cover it within 1 more inch of water. You're gonna bring it up to a pretty rapid simmer boil, and then throw it on the diffuser burner, and it's gonna whisper, okay? And what a whisper is, the French say that a rolling boil is hysterical laughter, that a simmer is a giggle, and a whisper is when you're seeing bubbles like that. 1 bubble, just like that. Oh, I've got the wrong gas on. Got it. Okay. And a diffuser burner is one of those burners that instead of it being like a grate like this, it's a plate. Okay, so check me out. I did one last night because it's just so good to have around. When you're making a soup and you use bones, you've got to skim it as you go, but I don't, because at the end I just strain the whole thing. Okay? This is still warm from the morning. This smells like medicine in a pot, and it is. The Jews call chicken soup, homemade chicken soup, Jewish penicillin. I don't know, I think the Jews call it that. And I've got my strainer, a fine mesh sieve strainer, and I just 1 ladleful at a time. It goes pretty quick. If you lift it above, it'll just everything will kind of gather down. And in this one, you can see that I did not put my mirepoix in a cheesecloth. So I'm gonna catch some pieces, but that's fine. I can just keep retransferring. Already it's going quick. And you'll start to see in here that you've got a film collecting. That's the debris that comes up. You know, that's the stuff that you'll usually spend some time skimming. But not necessary here because we're taking care of it. Literally, you chop that stuff up, throw it on with your bones. 24 hours later, you do what I'm doing now and you're done. And you've got such an amazing flavor booster and health booster, immune system booster, bone and joint booster. I've mentioned before that, you know, I've dealt with some health issues, still dealing with, taking some aggressive medication that's really working out for me. And bone broth in the winter, all the way through spring when it starts to really get warm, is a key factor of staying healthy and strong in my diet. And giving my body as much of a fighting chance as I can and staying on top of my game, which is so important for me because when my health gets bad, it really takes me out. I know you're probably looking at me and you're thinking, I can't even believe this girl. I mean, really? This person, health issues, energy issues? It's true. And what I would say to that is, you know, you never know. There's more that meets the eye than what you can see. That's something that I've learned over and over again. Visiting my brother in where he lives, there's a performance bar there called Don't Tell Mamas. And people get up and they sing in this piano bar. And I remember I went in and the woman said, what can I get you to drink? And I said, can I have a seltzer? And she nodded and then ran off to the mic. And the next thing you know, she's like, ah! No, what did she do? Rolling in the Deep, Adele. And all the like older folks in the place were like really feeling it. Someone next to me was like, God, I hate this song. It might have been my brother. And I thought, oh my gosh, never have I been in a bar and had someone ask me for my drink order and then run off to the mic to like, this girl was belt. I mean, she was, I mean, I can't even do it. It's like, I'm not a singer. And then I found out that all the people that work in the bar sing. go figure, and are amazed. And I thought, man, you know, you just can't, you just don't know. You go in, you think you know, based on what you see, and then you've got that. Somebody who's just gonna blow your friggin' mind with the box. Golden pipes this woman had. All right, so look at that. In the time that I could tell you a fun story, you can see we've got some cookie, all the cookie stuff is there. There's a little bit left I'm gonna strain off screen. And again, grind this down, feed your pets, they love it. Here's some finished ones. Check this out. Once it cools and it gets down to room temperature again, and I get it in the fridge, I'll then freeze it. What you might notice here at the top is a thin ring of fat. I don't know if you can see it up there, but that's gonna get in the fridge, or when it gets cold, it's gonna get all congealed. And it'll help keep the broth beneath it fresh in the fridge for quite a few weeks. But don't use it. It's the oxidized part of the animal. So whenever it gets nice and if I'm going to use it warm, I'll use a little like turkey strainer, broth strainer, where the fat will get a fat separator. And I'll show you, I keep this just on my counter. It's that white, you can see it's that white fat pot stuff. It's a white fat part. So when I'm done, when it's all clean and ready to go, I'll just take some and throw it in there. Now this is still warm. I've got a separate one, different color, different chicken. You see how thick that is? That's the collagen that we pull out. That's the stuff that helps make your bones and your tendons and your ligaments super strong. This is going to be delicious, and we're going to use it real soon in another episode. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today, chilling with me in my kitchen. I really look forward to sharing this amazing amber golden health tonic in a jar. And if you want to read more information about bone broth and about all the very technical details of what it does in the body and how it helps the body, check it out on inthekitchenkeepingitreal.com. Thanks so much for watching. Leave a comment or a question at the end of this YouTube video, and we hope to see you next Wednesday. Ciao.